What happens to war when empires collapse, faith rises, and power fractures into thousands of hands? When Rome fell, Europe did not become peaceful, it became fragmented. And in that fragmentation, war transformed again. This is the story of medieval warfare, an age where castles ruled landscapes, knights lived by codes, faith justified violence, and survival depended on loyalty and steel. The iron gate slams shut. Above you, archers watch from stone towers. Boiling water simmers. The air smells of smoke and fear. Outside the walls, an army waits. Weeks may pass, months. Starvation may decide the outcome, not swords. This is medieval war. Not fast, not clean, but relentless. Welcome to the Middle Ages, where war reshaped society from the ground up. After Rome, a world without order. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed in the 5th century, centralized authority disappeared across much of Europe. Roads crumbled, trade declined, cities shrank, power fractured into local rule. In this vacuum, protection mattered more than law. Those who could fight controlled land. Those who controlled land controlled people. War became personal. Feudalism, war as a social contract. Medieval society organized itself around feudalism. At the top, kings. Below them, lords. Below them, knights. At the bottom, peasants. Land was exchanged for loyalty. Loyalty was enforced by arms. Knights were professional warriors sworn to serve their lord. Their payment was land, status, and protection. In French, chevalier. In Spanish, caballero. In German, Ritter. Different words, same role. The knight, myth's reality. The image of the noble knight is powerful but incomplete. Knights trained from childhood. They learned riding, swordplay, lance combat, and discipline. Armor evolved from chainmail to full plate. Weapons included swords, maces, axes, and lances. But knightly warfare was brutal. Raids burned villages. Fields were destroyed. Civilians suffered most. Honor existed, but survival mattered more. The code of chivalry. As violence spread, societies tried to control it. Chivalry emerged as an ideal. Loyalty, courage, protection of the weak, faithfulness. In practice, chivalry was unevenly applied. It restrained violence among nobles, but rarely protected peasants. War was still war. Infantry returns to power. While knights dominated early medieval battlefields, infantry never disappeared. Peasant soldiers fought with spears, pikes, bows, crossbows. The English longbow changed warfare dramatically. A trained archer could pierce armor at distance. Knights were no longer invincible. Technology began to humble nobility. Castles. War in stone. Castles were not just homes, they were weapons. Built on hills, rivers, and choke points, castles controlled territory. They served as military bases, administrative centers, symbols of power. Siege warfare became central. Attackers used battering rams, siege towers, catapults, trebuchets. Defenders relied on walls, moats, starvation tactics. Most sieges ended not with assault but with hunger. Faith enters the battlefield. Religion became a powerful motivator for war. In medieval Europe, Christianity shaped identity. In the Middle East, Islamic empires expanded. In Byzantium, faith and empire merged. War became holy. In Arabic, jihad, jihad. In Latin, bellum sacrum. Faith justified sacrifice and intensified conflict. The Crusades, war across continents. Beginning in 1095, the Crusades sent armies across Europe and the Middle East, motivated by religion, power, land, wealth. The Crusades were not a single war but centuries of campaigns. They connected distant cultures, they spread technology, they also caused immense suffering. Cities fell, Populations were displaced. Religious hatred deepened. The consequences echo today. Medieval warfare beyond Europe. While Europe fought feudal wars, the rest of the world advanced warfare in different ways. Islamic caliphates refined cavalry tactics. China developed early gunpowder weapons. Mongols mastered speed and psychological warfare. In Mandarin, Zhenjun Zanzhang. In Persian, Zhangjiang, medieval war was global. The end of the Knights Age. By the late Middle Ages, change accelerated. Gunpowder entered battlefields. Cannons shattered castle walls. Firearms pierced armor. Knights lost dominance. Castles lost purpose. War was about to change again. The human cost. Medieval war devastated civilian life. Famine followed armies. Disease spread through sieges. Entire regions were emptied. War was seasonal, but suffering was constant. Closing reflection. Medieval warfare was slow, brutal, and deeply tied to belief and hierarchy. It shaped nations. It shaped faith. It shaped the modern world. And as the Middle Ages ended, war prepared for its next transformation, one powered by gunpowder and global ambition.